Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Sagittarius August 2022 Illumination reading. This is I Am Illuminated Tarot, a place for you to better connect with and illuminate your own personal spiritual importance. So hi and welcome. So in this reading, we're going to be taking a look at a challenge that Spirit is asking you to face and overcome this month in some aspect of your experience to really help you engage your unique spirit, that part of yourself that when challenged rises up to meet the occasion. And this is where we get to really see what we're capable of, where we get to see our true unique talents and abilities. And this allows us to better understand our path and our purpose, and to better and get closer to feeling those emotional fulfillment feelings that come when we know where we fit and that we're doing something that can be not only of service to ourselves, but of service to the greater collective experience. Okay, so Sagittarius, let's take a look. I'm kind of waiting for the cards to come out here. So let's see, what are you bringing into the month of August? Ooh, the Star. That's a beautiful energy to have. So the Star is all about really that part of ourself that almost instinctually knows there's something greater for us out there. That feeling that is almost instinctual, that pull to a higher destiny. It's our guiding star. It's that great hope, dream, wish for ourselves that we feel we know we can achieve in life. And it's a beautiful energy to have. You know, it harnesses the energy of the number 17 in the tarot, and it comes directly after the fall of the Tower, which is number 16 in the tarot. And it really speaks to having kind of gone through a revelatory experience that has brought down your walls internally and has allowed you to reconnect with this kind of shining brightness within yourself that, oh my gosh, that's what I was holding myself back from really wanting to follow. It's almost like you're able to see your internal path again. And it's a beautiful energy. Now, in our external environment, we have the Ace of Swords, the Page of Wands, and the Five of Swords. Interesting energy. It's one of clarity with the Ace of Swords, possibly the discovery of a new truth. The Page of Wands is when we get to kind of go out, and I think for some of you, there's a little bit of this aha clarity around something that really kind of lights your fire again. And then when we think about getting in touch with our star, it really does speak to, often it is something that kind of awakens that magic within us again, that thing of, oh my gosh, I forgot I loved to do that, or oh my gosh, I forgot that actually makes me feel really joyful, or that I find that really beautiful. But there's a part of you with the Five of Swords in your external environment, or possibly with the environment itself, that is at a little bit of odds with this. Now, it could be that you're starting to discover something about yourself, that you've had this new clarity of truth, and that there might be somebody in your external environment that maybe is not as accepting as you would hope they would be. Or it's yourself who is at odds with fully accepting this revelation that you've had of, I want to go out here and kind of test the waters. I want to see if this dream really can exist for me somewhere out there. And there's this element of, yes, but that's unrealistic. Now, this month we have the Queen of Pentacles underlaid by the Three of Cups and the Two of Cups. Interesting energy, because it's a building energy with the Two of Cups, the Three of Cups, and the Queen of Pentacles. This is one where perhaps it's a month of realizing the importance of a very equal and vulnerable partnership, and understanding that when you kind of take that out into the world and share that with others, that it's not always just about kind of holding your cup close to you and sharing it with only one other person. It's about going back out there and kind of joining the party again, really expanding the intimacy that you have with another person, another individual, and bringing that out so that you can be intimate with many others, so that you can join the celebration. And the Queen of Pentacles speaks to really being able to focus on what you want to grow physically for yourself. It's a beautiful energy that really harnesses kind of the maternal receptive energy, but one, again, that is focused on, I want to grow this. And I think for some of you, there is this realization that is a realization of a connection between kind of the company we keep and how we allow ourselves to be vulnerable with others, and how we can allow ourselves to just really enjoy what's in our cup and that experience of sharing our unique needs. Because our cup actually does link directly to the star as well. When you look at, she's pouring water out of 2 jars, but it's almost like, to a certain extent, I always see it as she's pouring from the cup that's within her. She's realized that beautiful kind of almost that again, revelatory realization that, oh my gosh, I'm the one. Emotional fulfillment comes from within me. I always am connected to spirit. I always have a full cup. My cup always runneth over, to the point that I can even go ahead and pour out what is within me, and it will never be exhausted. And there is that feeling here of realizing that you can go out and hold your cup and share it with others, and that this time it won't be depleted. This time you won't have to hope that another can refill your cup or look for another to fill your cup. There's an element of maybe in the past that it was draining, that there was an emotional connection for yourself where you had to give a lot, and perhaps you did feel like your cup was not full, or that it kind of stopped you from having that beautiful emotional connection to what you want to nurture in the physical. And it could have even stopped you from following a passion, or just feeling that kind of fun, free energy that we feel when we work with a passion, when we just go out there and kind of throw off kind of shake off the dust, so to speak, and we throw off the burden, and we just go out and say, I'm going to just enjoy this part of myself. And I think now there's this feeling of realizing there's always going to be people out there who support you. And in fact, there's a whole wide world of people to connect with. And that's where you actually get the cup that's full to be able to pour and nurture the seed that you want to create in the physical. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull ooh, some cards here. Whoa, hold on. That is the Wheel of Fortune. That's a big card to come out there for your challenge position. So let's see what else wants. I'm actually going to give it another shuffle here. So the Wheel of Fortune it's always a positive energy. It's one where the wheel is turning, where the energy is flowing. It can be a challenge, however, when we know that this is our opportunity to grow. This is our opportunity to change something. This is our opportunity to jump into the flow of energy. And that can be scary because it means we're going to be carried someplace else from where we are at this moment. Oh, 2 of Cups. So there's the 2 of Cups again. And that it might mean for some of you that you're being carried towards a partnership. 2 of Cups can indicate a romantic partnership, but it can also indicate an equal business partnership. We have the Emperor at the heart of your reading. I love that for you guys. We'll go into that in just a minute. So there seems to be a little bit of a energetic push to get you to kind of go out in with this star, that kind of hopeful dream in mind, that's going to allow you possibly to kind of come into the path of a very strong and important partnership for yourself, which is beautiful. But again, that can be scary. That does mean that you might have to, that the flow of energy might, again, carry you from where you currently are, even from the people or the relationships you're currently in. And with the Emperor coming out at the heart of your reading, that really speaks to, and this is what Spirit would like you to embrace, the energy of the Emperor to really help you overcome this challenge and step out into the world, kind of with this lighthearted energy of following a passion. That the Emperor is an energy where we we step up into the role of being the emperor to our own empire. Oh my gosh, the Wheel of Fortune again. Okay, guys, so this is kind of like I use this deck, and it's very interesting. There are oftentimes multiple cards that come out that are the same, and when I go through them, and then this is not a joke, when I go through them and I look to see, is it the same card? What cards are doubles? How is this a misprinted deck? Those cards are not there. So there is something about that. I call this my kind of Lion, Witch, in the Wardrobe deck, and that's why I use it quite often. So this is a double and very important confirmation that, wow, something is moving in your favor, and you really have to use courage to step up and to assert your authority in your own life. Because the Emperor, there is the Empress card in the tarot as well, which is more of a feminine, receptive energy. But the Emperor holds a masculine energy. It holds one where now it's time for us to act with forward momentum, with a goal in sight, to kind of take charge and say, this is my life experience, and it's time for me to make the decision, to take the leap, to move with the flow of something new that I'm being asked to get into. And I love that the Six of Pentacles then comes up as your final point of challenge, because that really speaks to balance of physical resources. It speaks to really understanding that the energy we put in is what we eventually get back. It also speaks to understanding that you have enough to go forward to start the journey towards nurturing what you want, as long as you can keep a more focused vision for what you want to nurture. And it's, I feel like this is a very simple and easy read here. There is something about a fated partnership coming in for you, Sagittarius, and to really lean into the dream that is associated with this, be it in a business sense, be it in a friendship even. Maybe you're looking for that friend who's going to be the one that you can lean on for the next 25 years, or be that the romantic partnership you're looking for, who's that equal partner who's going to allow you to be the emperor as you move forward. And really understanding here, again with the Six of Pentacles coming up, just the balance that can be when we take a look at what we have and we understand that at any given point we might have to be in a giving role or in a receiving role, but there will be balance. That maybe this is the time now for you. Maybe you've been in a receiving role for quite some time, or the opposite. Maybe you've been in a role where you have been the pusher, the one who's had to be the breadwinner. And maybe for some of you, actually being the emperor and taking charge within your life is actually being the one to say, it's time for me to no longer be the breadwinner. It's time for me to follow my heart and start a new business pursuit. That might mean that I don't have my 9-to-5, and I don't know how long it's going to take for me to build this business, but I know I'm feeling called to do it, or I'm feeling called to write that great, American novel. Or it could be the opposite, that maybe up until this point you've always been the one to receive, and now it's time for those roles to be reversed, where you sit there and say, I'm the one now who's going to push forward the resources now needed for me to be able to maybe build a business, level up in a business, or to spread my wings and move from taking care of our children to now following a career goal or going back to school to make that happen. There's something here around really understanding what you want to nurture and stepping up into your own authority to do so. Okay, so now I'm going to pull just a couple clarifiers here. I really want to dive into the Wheel of Fortune. Let's see what's coming in for you guys there. What is the energy around the Wheel of Fortune? I'm actually going to clarify both because I do find it so interesting. Okay, so we have Justice and the Five of Cups. This is the balancing of where there was a big disappointment prior. So keep this in mind for those of you who are fearful about maybe not wanting to kind of get back out there and get into the flow again, because when you had tried previously, it didn't work out. This is where, with Justice coming in, Justice is the major arcana version of the Six of Pentacles. It's where a right will be wronged, or a a wrong will be righted, or where there has been a level of just emotional imbalance. That's what I'm feeling here because it's the Five of Cups. Well, there's been an emotional imbalance that's prevented you from being able to connect in a way with another that you've wanted to. So this is a beautiful confirmation that this is going to help correct some aspect of a past disappointment where you felt that partnership was not honored, or where you did not get that same maybe respect from another. Okay, so this is for the second Wheel of Fortune, Seven of Cups and Page of Wands again. Okay, so another confirmation here. This is showing that if you can lean into this energy, this new kind of spark that you found within yourself, and you can really just enjoy that from this optimistic, kind of innocent, curious, childlike perspective. The Seven of Cups is opportunity. This is where you kind of open the door to all the cups, all the people waiting for you out there. And I think that that's the beautiful thing, is that there's almost this feeling of like it's going to bring you into the path of some fated connection. But then by really stepping in and harnessing your authority in this, you're allowing yourself to kind of go out onto the open market to really see what's out there for you, to see whose cup is going to be a match for yours. But you have to go out there and work with this wand. And that's really where the clarity is coming from here. You're realizing that is my ticket, my ticket on the Wheel of Fortune is this passion, is this reconnection to something that kind of lights my flame, that makes me feel like I'm a kid again looking at my own magic wand saying, well, what could I really do with this? It's been sitting in the back of the closet. It's time for me to go back out there. And it's time for me to realize that I can't let somebody else in my experience prevent me from doing this. And I can't allow myself on an internal level to prevent me from doing this. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull clarifiers for the Ten of Cups. I really want to see here what's coming through with that. Or I'm sorry, Ten of Cups, the Two of Cups. Interesting. I'm curious to see now if the Ten of Cups is going to come out for that. So let's see about this fated relationship or partnership. For some of you, this could even be where this is a fated relationship from the past that's actually held you back from trying again. And this is saying that if you try again, but you come at it this time from a more authentic perspective, from a more, this is just what I love. This is who I am. This is what lights my fire. That is actually going to allow you to, I think, see the options that you hadn't wanted to see earlier. Okay, Page of Swords. Yeah, for some of you, you're trying to gain context. Trying to gain context as to what is the truth of a past relationship. And I think you'll have the ability to do that as you step up into your own authority. You'll realize, now I see the truth of that. Like, now I see how I got into that relationship, or now I see why it disappointed me, why, it's almost to that point of like you realize it was part me and part them, but maybe you've looked at it as it was all them. And now you realize, actually, no, the clarity is it was me. And maybe you hid a part of yourself. This could even be in a business, relationship, or maybe got into a career path, or you started working with somebody and you followed what their inspiration was and you let your own inspiration kind of fall by the wayside. And this is where you realize, oh my gosh, that's why that didn't work. That's why there was a major disappointment there. That's why those are the Three Cups. I'm still mourning the connection that didn't work out. And the Four of Wands here coming through with the Page of Swords is that I think for some of you, this did involve a marriage or involves a current marriage. And that there's an element here of realizing that the foundation you built was not built with your wand as part of one of those four wands. And that's the realization moving forward. So it's a really interesting message. Okay, I'm going to pull additional cards here for the Emperor. So let's go ahead and see what Spirit is asking you to really embrace, an additional message around stepping up into this kind of authoritative energy in your life. You have the Magician, the Empress. So there's the Empress right there. So when I was saying there's the feminine to the masculine energy. And then we have the Ten of Swords. Okay, so I think for some of you, this is really asking you to really face a time that brought you to your knees. A time that really was, it's hard to look back and even, go to that place again. But I think now what you're realizing with the Magician and the Empress coming in is that with those two energies, so for some of you, I'm just going to put this out there because these are clarifiers. There could be a very specific message where a Gemini in your life and kind of a mother figure possibly, that maybe this could even be you. And I know you're a Sagittarius, but this could be also just representing you, that you were the magician going out to work your magic, and there was a mother figure that kind of got in the way. That there was something about that brought in, a wounding here. Or this could be where the Empress can be kind of any figure that is in that could even be a kind of more dominant but passive aggressive, like girl boss, I guess, as you would say it, but I look at it more as like a mother. So it could have been more of like and the energy around something here that didn't quite work out. But I think the other side to this, when you look at it from the positive side and from the more general side, is that with the Magician and the Empress, this is the realization of what you can create. And that, yes, we all go through moments when we have been at our lowest point. But the beauty of the Ten of Swords is that it wraps up a cycle and we walk away from that with the Ace of Swords. But we have to be real with ourselves as to what brought us to that point. What was our involvement? And when we really take a hard look at that and we realize what that was, that's when we harness the energy of the Magician and the Empress. We realize, I'm the magician in my own life. I have the magic. In fact, I hold the magic wand in my hand. It's my passion. And I'm also the one that I harness both masculine and feminine energy myself. I can be the authority in my life to say, this is what I want to have happen and to take action towards it. But I can also have the creativity and the internal awareness to then give birth to the experience that I want. Love that for you. Very powerful. You have a lot of major arcana out here. So this is a very pivotal month for you, Sagittarius. Okay, so let's get final clarifiers here for the Six of Pentacles. Eight of Wands. Ooh, I like that. Fast-moving energy. It could be quick communication coming in through some type of electronic method. So that could be a text. It could be an email coming in. I think for some of you, though, this could actually just be that you're finally realizing it's time for me to go. It's time for me to jump on the train and start and take my wand. I think that's kind of what I feel. It's almost like you've realized you hold a wand. Here comes a train where there's a bunch of other people holding theirs, and they're like, come on, it's time to go. The wheel's turning, and it's like, okay, yeah, you're right. It's time for me to do this. It might not have been 10 years ago or 20 years ago, but it is today. Nine of Coins and Nine of Swords, very interesting. This is having to leave a comfort zone. For some of you, you are very worried about losing a level of independence. You're very worried about having to leave a certain modicum of something that you have worked hard to create for yourself. But what this is saying is that the time is now. And the forward momentum, again, this is kind of the Eight of Wands, is really picking up on the double Wheel of Fortune coming through here. It's like the time to take your inspiration out there is now. Okay. Love this reading for you guys. Very fiery, which you are, Sagittarius. You are the mutable fire sign. So you are out there just working your magic this month. Okay, so now I'm going to pull 3 additional cards here to get advice from Spirit. And we're going to see what does... Sorry guys, kind of just zoning out there, getting into your energy. It's really interesting. What does Sagittarius need to know? I'm seeing rainbows, which is so very interesting. Sagittarius need to know about where to be curious. I'm pulling a card for curiosity, one for courage, and one for contemplation. So we're engaging with the energy of curiosity. Okay, so we have strategy, number 21, breaking down to a 3. And healer of the ages, 51, breaking down to a 6. So when we're thinking about being curious and kind of opening ourselves up to the unknown, that I like how there's strategy and then healer of the ages. I know it kind of looks like the image of Jesus, but take it for when we think of the healer. A healer in general is someone, I like how this has the number 6 coming through, which is the energy of love. It's also, I look at it as the energy of spiritual love, and when we work together for a common spiritual goal. And there's this element here of almost remembering that you're a part of a greater collective experience that has the ability to, that if we each play our part and we each step into the authority within ourselves to work with our own passions that need to be expressed. When you think of the concept of Jesus, that's what he did. He was the ultimate example of someone who lives through expressing their passion. And there's that element of really understanding the importance of that, and that the strategy, I do feel like, where can you be curious now as to possibly where there can be a strategy put in place? And I like that there's a quill here. There's a little bit of writing. Where can there be a strategy put in place that's almost in alignment with allowing you to understand that healing for yourself, the healing, to bring something into balance here, to allow you to really harness that healing energy, is going to come through you being able to, think of the emperor. He has a strategy. He's going to be the one that sits and kind of looks at everything in his life and says, I see the way forward. And that's why I have clarity on that. So that's why I want to go out there and do this. So where can you create a strategy in a way that feels healing to you, in a way that says, I feel comfortable with making this move. I feel like I don't have to fight myself, or I don't have to, that if someone does come forward and question me on this, I can simply say, this is part of who I am. This is part of me actually bringing my own healing to the greater collective experience, because I'm bringing my gift to the greater collective train, so to speak. I'm going to go ahead and pull an additional clarifier here just to get one additional message. But I really think that's kind of an energy to lean into, to really say, what do you want to nurture that would feel both healing to you and also give you an eye to being part of a greater something outside of yourself. Because that's really also what the emperor speaks to. Yes, he's the emperor of his own empire, but the welfare of his empire is part of his strategy. It's part of why he chooses to be in authority, and it's part of really his decision-making process. So there's something here about not being afraid to go out there and work your magic, but also realize that you might have other people in your environment that are affected by your changes. And that's okay. But when we come from a perspective of realizing, kind of almost coming to that place of peace where we understand it's okay if we have to make changes. It's okay if I have to kind of flow down the river. And I can do it from a place where I can really take a look at what will be best for everyone, but also keeping myself and my own passion and magic in alignment. And how can I bring that into this experience with others? And I like how it says hummingbird spirit, be here now, number 34, breaking down to a 7. The be here now, that really is, when we think of strategy, it's like coming back to the present and realizing, yeah, it's time. It's time to say, I have to leave a job to start the process of building my own business. But how is that going to happen? And how is that really going to be effective in healing both myself and the greater collective experience or the people that I directly affect. This can also be where you just allow yourself to be curious about where perhaps even a strategy might come into play without you really having to force it. Because with the Nine of Swords here, this really speaks to a card of worry. And for some of you, I think maybe you're almost overthinking the strategy. And this is saying, just be here now. Be here now with the energy of faith. Be here now with the energy of love and healing yourself and bringing things back into balance, and really understanding that this month can bring great healing for you by acting in accordance with yourself. And the strategy might present itself. In fact, strategy might come from somebody outside of yourself, which is really interesting. Let's see here. This could be actually kind of one of those things about the more you connect with others, the more others might point the way to additional opportunities and to possibly, again, a fated relationship. And that might allow you to really be able to see, oh my gosh, this is what I want to nurture, and this is how I can do it. But first you have to have that vision for yourself. And you have to be courageous to step into the flow of energy. All right, now I'm going to pull a card here for the concept of courage to see really what Spirit would like you to be aware of as to where to have the courage to take action this month. Oh, I love it. Surrender to joy. Sorry, guys, I'm going to get a drink of water here. Okay. It says, a key to positive change in your life is to let joy in and savor it. Indulge in random acts of smiling. During both the hard and easy times, keep surrendering to more joy. And that's what comes through with the Page of Pentacles that has come up, twice here. There's this element of stepping up into that childlike, optimistic view of life again, focused on what brings you joy, focused on what lights your fire. And use that as courage to say, this is how my life should be experienced. I'm going to get one more additional card here. Let's see if we can get one additional clarifier for that. What does Sagittarius need to know about surrendering to joy? I really love this for you guys because it kind of brings in that the beautiful spirit that you guys work with, that kind of seeking mentality of wanting to go out and find what feels good, find what suits you, and discover more about the world in a hands-on way. You are a spiritually seeking sign. You're also a sign that really focuses on trying to really find the truth. And oh my gosh, there's a lot here, but I'll say them all. So we have Groundhog Spirit, time to let go. We have Crow Spirit, co-create with Spirit. We have Frog Spirit, clear out the clutter. And Stag Spirit, take the lead. I love this. So I'm not going to go too much into this, but there is something that needs to be let go of, I feel. Again, there was a disappointment in the past that I think is kind of holding you back. And it's time to get out there and co-create with Spirit. Spirit is waiting for you to have the confidence to do that. Clear out the mental clutter that has possibly continually held you back. And with Stag Spirit, I love this. Take the lead. This harnesses the energy of the Emperor. It's time to take the lead in your life, but not from a way of, this is me and I have to do it and I don't care about what everybody else thinks. It's coming from that beautiful place of internal wisdom of, no, it's necessary and important for me to express who I am and the magic that lies within me. And that is what's going to both heal me and in turn be of service to heal others. I love this. Okay, and then we're going to read a final card here for a point of contemplation. So this is where Spirit would like you to stay reflective throughout the month. What does Sagittarius need to know about contemplation? the crumbling. What are you clinging to? Yeah, I get the feeling you guys are kind of clinging to like the bank of a river that's rushing by you. And it's like, oh, that wheel of fortune, I'm feeling it. It's turning, but it's too scary to go. But I love this. I mean, look at it. If you can walk through the doorway, there's beauty on the other side. And it can seem scary. When I was saying that, this mimics the energy of the Tower card in the tarot, which again comes before the Star card. And for some of you, you're still not allowing yourself to walk away from the rubble of the Tower, walking away from the self-revelation that you had that has occurred due to some great change within your experience, and that it's time to let it go. I mean, time to let go. It's time for you to be happy. It's time for you to connect with others. It's time for you to celebrate with others. And it's time for you to bring your magic back out into the world again. Really, really love this, Sagittarius. Okay. So I'm now going to pull one final card here for the concept of what your greater spiritual lesson is this month, sorry. And I will read the final or the full excerpt from the book that comes with this deck. Okay, what does Sagittarius need to know about your spiritual lesson this month? Okay. Oh, interesting. So again, double healing energy here. So we have Master Healing number 33. And that's Master number 33, which is the Master Healer. Okay. Again, though, breaking down to a number 6, harnessing that spiritual energy of love. It says, as you meditate, remain true to what inspires your heart and commit to your spiritual path. It says, as you meditate, remain true to what inspires your heart and commit to your spiritual path. You become an increasingly powerful healer. You are here to live your own life, to be true to what genuinely moves you. The unconditionally loving guide and ascended master, Serapis Bey, comes to you now with the blessing of master healing to further your success on your path. The Master Serapis Bey is a beloved guide for those who feel a strong soul connection to ancient Egypt, for healers who are developing their own modalities, and those who love to work with high-frequency concepts. He also assists with the translation of spiritual inspiration into practical worldly plans. I love that. It's a strategy. So be curious and open to where the strategy is just going to kind of come in from spirit. Says he comes to confirm that the ascended masters are aware of you. You are an integral part of a powerful spiritual team that has taken physical incarnation to help awaken consciousness into love. You are asked to tune into your heart. What do you love enough to overcome any obstacle to attain it? What motivates and inspires you? Not what seems possible or practical, but what is authentic. We are most powerful when we serve authentically from the heart. A bird might learn how to dive underwater from time to time, but it is never going to be at its most powerful if it has to live underwater. It would struggle to thrive if it were to force itself into such unnatural expressions of its life energy. The bird yearns to fly because that is its divine nature and purpose. You too have divine nature and purpose, and your heart holds the clue. What feels most like you? It is difficult to assess the truth of our own nature when we believe we should live up to the expectations of others. If we are attached to an outcome or afraid of an answer, we can unintentionally block our perceptive faculties. A spiritual version of sticking our fingers in our own ears and shouting blah, blah, blah. The blessing of Serapis Bey includes his clear flame of divine cleansing light. This can assist us in letting go of whatever blocks us from knowing the truth of our nature. When we are willing to be who we are, the universe can more easily guide us to fulfill our destinies. Serapis Bey will help you see yourself truthfully. You may gain feedback from others that helps you understand the value of what you share, or you may simply find it easier to view yourself objectively, with a compassionate, appreciative, and discerning inner eye. As you learn and accept who you are, you become a more powerful vibration for masters to put you to use in the plan of love. If you have a dream in your heart, know that it has been placed there for divine purpose. What you dream and desire contains the seed of divinity. It is meant to help attract your life mission and fulfill it with love, joy, creativity, and pleasure. If we are willing to go through what is necessary for an outcome, it will happen for us. The details may appear different from what we imagine they would, but the truth remains. If you ask for something and are willing to go through the process required to have that come to life, it will happen for you. The universe is that generous, unconditionally supportive, and loving of you. It is your creative partner. It will provide you with all that you need to manifest your dreams, desires, and destiny. Beautiful. I hope all of you have enjoyed this reading. If anyone would like to book a personal reading or just learn more about me, you can visit my website by clicking on the link in the description box below. And if I don't see you there, I hope you all have a wonderfully loving and, I normally don't say this, but authoritative month of August, one where you get to play with that spark that lies within you, and you get to really step into that role of expressing it. All right, everyone, I will see you in next month's September reading. Have a wonderful month of August. Bye.